Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Chaos Boxing and Fitness. My name is Tristan Oseguera, and we are now in Geneva, Switzerland. And we have a very special episode here in Switzerland because he's joining us today. Somebody I call a friend, a family, a brother, and also I'm a fan of him because he is here today with us in Chaos Boxing and Fitness, the one and only, the English Viking, Tyler Goodjohn El Tornado, ladies and gentlemen. So let's welcome him here at Chaos Boxing and Fitness. Don't forget, he's fighting in BKFC London, BKFC 27. He's in London in the Wembley Arena. And I hope, how are you, my brother? Are you getting trolls with the video?
Can you see me?
No, don't worry. Take your time to check your video. I can see you. I can see the little tornado on the screen, but how are you? So during you connect your camera, I can tell the people, Don't forget, buy your tickets. BKFC 27 at the London and the Wembley Arena. BKFC 27, August 20 is one of the biggest bare knuckle fights events in England. As you know, in England is very popular, the BKFC. And now the BKFC is coming to take England with El Tornado, Tyler Goodjohn. Hermano, brother, my brother, mi hermano. So it's a long story we can share with you guys, but we don't do because this is private. How are you? How are you doing, my brother?
Good, thank you. Just living that life, just training, eating, sleeping. Yeah, just it's been non-stop, but I'm happy with my preparation. Yeah, man, it's gonna be a lot of fun. August 20th.
So and my daughter, she thinks it's you.
And I'll take that. I love it.
And because if you see, guys, I have a poster from Tyler right there behind. It's El Tornado is in the house. So my daughter come and take this one, like, oh, this is El Tornado, this is Tyler, that. So no, but almost. You can see that. So let's go a little by little. So, and you can use this platform. I know you. We've been talking behind the cameras. First of all, once again, I want to say thank you for be who you are. Your friendship, the kind of athlete you are, because I was watching yesterday the Fighting World Words podcast with Ian Street and Rob too. I send greetings to them. They're amazing people, and you are one of those athletes. You are a legit role model for the new generations of people to want to compete in any combat sports. Why I say this? Because you don't need to use high or intensity words or the F words or something to express yourself and demonstrate the kind of athlete you are. Instead to you being in ups and downs in life and work and your business, etc., you still want to well-educated athlete and very expressive, very you know how to use your words. So let's just step a little back and you can give us this journey in your life. And to people don't know you, as we know, you started as a boxer, a long time ago, and you have one amazing career in boxing because you start in 2013 your professional career. The Wembley Arena is going to be something for you very interesting because you fight there in 2011 versus Matt Surratt.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you did many fights. You was in the Your Hall, in the City Limits, Olympia Kingston, Your Hall for many times, Brenton Center. But of course, the Wembley Arena is part of your life because also you won that fight that night.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big show as well. It was my third pro fight I fought Matzy, right? But it was on the undercard Tyson Fury, who's obviously world heavyweight champion now. So, you know, it was a great card to be on. I actually made my pro debut on Tyson Fury's show at the York Hall in London as well. So, yeah, man, I fought on some massive shows, but yeah, Wembley Arena, I really like it as a venue. It's a big venue, it's going to hold a lot of people, good atmosphere, and to be honest, everywhere's a good seat in there. So, yeah, everyone's in for a good night, August 20th.
Yeah, and I've been talking with people, and of course, you did one amazing fight, and of course, you at this fight and BKB is part of the amazing documentary to people can watch on YouTube about your life, about the bare knuckle boxing, so in your journey to be the champion in BKB. You finished your contract with BKB, or you depart from them, and you start this journey to BKFC, where we was part of this journey, or this crazy journey we call, but a crazy journey about, because I think everybody learned there. Also, el señor Mr. Luis Palomino, also he learned in that journey too, because now is your coach, your mentor. And when I say he learned, it's because he saw on you what we, your family and friends and the fans, we know about you. So how is being all this camping with Luis?
I mean, yeah, the first thing that Luis will tell anybody, you know, of why they signed me, you know, obviously, you know, Tristan, yourself, but, you know, the heart I showed by doing what I did and coming for Palomino in Miami, and he just said, he's literally said it to everyone who's asked out here, and he just goes, look, do you know what? He is a fighter, and you cannot teach that. He's got what you cannot teach. And I appreciate that a lot. Me and Luis have a lot of similarities in our career that, you know, we sort of, you know, we've achieved a lot in our careers, but at the same time, we've sort of, our face didn't fit. We didn't get the opportunities in certain areas. And we've both got a lot of experience just battling to get there, you know, just battling to get top. And like I say, that was something that he appreciated. You know, I come over, quarantined for 2 weeks in Dominican with no team, nobody. And then obviously, you know, 4 or 5 days out from the fight, we caught up and just, you led me into battle. And, you know, Luis really, really appreciates, respects that. And he's just given me the opportunity, you know. Yeah, it's a bit of a present, really, you know, to come out here and learn off Tigre, learn off Palomino, learn from his strength and conditioning coach, Amna. It's, you know, there's a lot of layers to his team, you know, where, you know, back home, look, in all fairness to myself, you know, I had a boxing coach, a very good boxing coach who done my corner and that on fight night. But in terms of actual boxing, I was probably only doing boxing 1 day a week. I was just concentrating more on fitness and everything else. So coming out here, like, opened my eyes to, you know, everything has to be bang on, straight from strength and conditioning to boxing to your track work. It's, you know, it's all got to be scheduled, and that's what makes a champion at the end of the day. A team that works together. You know, like I said before, I was just more or less training myself, and I've always trained very, very hard, but perhaps not the specific training that I've needed, you know? So, yeah, I'm getting all that now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because, of course, in England, COVID situation affect not just the career of many, also the business. And the kind of gymnasiums or boxing gyms that you can find around, you need to create your own boxing gym. You have your own business because you know the necessity to you have to do it because you need to have the access to the training because you grow up there, you know that. But of course, situations happen, and now I will say thanks God. You are somebody special because how many people can get these opportunities like this? You know, like I sounds very crazy saying this, but you're kind of illuminated guy, you know, like you have the vibe to people see your talent and say, hey, you know what? So he needed this, let's help. And I believe that's why Luis Palomino, Eric Castano, the Young Tiger Foundation, they jump and say, okay, let's do it. But also you have a new management too.
Yeah, so just, again, another thing that I struggled with my whole bare knuckle career. I've never had a manager. So, something that as a fighter, you have to deal with yourself, which is very stressful. Look, as a fighter, I need to train twice a day. I need my diet. I need, correct sleep, rest, recovery, whatever. But then in the middle of all that, having to sort out all your contracts, all your fight, your money, your ticket situation, this, that, it's a headache that you just don't need as a fighter. So having someone to look after that for me, mediate a little bit between us promotion, because, I'm not always happy with the promotion. That comes with the territory. At the end of the day, as a fighter, I just want to be shown the respect that I feel like I deserve. So having the management, just give someone to mediate between me and the promotion, which is great. It's less of a headache for me.
What is the key points do you find on this new training camp you are doing, and compares to what you was doing normally in England? Is the diet, is the system of the schedule, like a conditioning boxing, diet, go to sleep, etc., etc. What is the key, and how do you feel?
I feel great. I think the main thing is, like I said earlier, I was probably only doing boxing once, twice a week at a push, but I'm with Tigre 6 days a week. So what he teaches me is getting drummed in. I'm soaking it up like a sponge, because, to be honest, I haven't really got any other choice. It's drummed into you, and I feel like it needs to be like that. As a young amateur growing up, when you're learning the basics, it's drummed into you, and that's why you learn it like you do. So, in many ways, it's taking it back to the basics, where I'm just me and Tigre every day, pads. He's watching me on the bag. He's watching me shadow box. He's watching me do everything. But then also, the strength and conditioning, where I'm working towards explosiveness for the 5-2s, because everyone who knows me knows that I train insanely hard, probably too hard at times. I probably push myself too much for too long, and the trouble with that is that you need that specific training. BKFC, like Tristan, when I fought, perhaps a little bit of a slow start in the first couple of rounds, which ultimately cost me my eye. Again,
in the second round.
Yeah. So, had I been a little bit more explosive and started a little bit quicker, it maybe not, hadn't happened. But, coming from professional glove boxing, where I was doing like 10, 12 rounds, losing the first round or the second round wasn't the end of the world. You sort of warmed into a fight. Whereas with BKFC, obviously 5 2-minute rounds, you've got to be very explosive, very quick. You lose 2 rounds, you lose the fight. So it's, that's something that I've got to adapt to, and I have to learn off Palomino and his strength and conditioning trainer.
So you've been talking about that. I've been sending you messages about that. Ian and Rob and maybe friends too, and Luis Palomino say that too. This is like the Rocky IV story, Rocky Balboa story, yeah. And the real one, I've been looking for something similar, doesn't exist right now. You are the first real Rocky Balboa story. Apollo Creed, Sylvester Stallone. I was telling friends in my family, right now Tyler is in Miami. I don't know if they go and see it. Okay, you know what? You and me, let's sit and watch or fight. Did it happen like Apollo and Rocky one night sit and watch the fight together? Say, oh, look at that. Do you and Luis, you share that moment, like watching the fight, and also, do he kind of? You don't need to tell here, okay? Because this is private. But do you share like some words like Luis said, because I know he's a humble person, a humble athlete, and a champion, and said, "Man, this part surprised me from you," or somebody was like that.
Yeah, he actually said it to someone yesterday. When we went to, he took me to one of his like medical clinics, and he was we were chatting obviously about our fight and everything else, and they said like, what was it that sort of that you liked about Tyler? And he said, look, he brought up how many punches were landed, and he just said the guy was in the middle of the ring, beating his chest like, come on, let's fight. And I said, like, he made a fan of me that night. And then obviously, to be honest, at the time, he was the only one who really gave me the credit that I deserved. You know, he grabbed the mic after the fight, and he got on the mic and he told the crowd, he said, look, you know, Tyler, come over here, quarantined for 2 weeks, obviously, make sure you on a team, you know, and he come and he do it, and he made a fan that night. So yeah, he's always telling that to saying, look, you know, you've got a guy that I was hitting him with the best shots I could throw, and he's just beating his chest like, come on, let's fight. You can't teach that. You know, don't matter how many gyms you go to, you cannot teach that. And yeah, he appreciates it. So
yeah, exactly. And I think also he is not the only one became a fan of you, because that night is special. I think for many fans, people to surround you, and we in special, Luis. But I've been speaking with other fighters like Joe Elmore, the Hitman, who's going to be in the same night in August. And he was also, remember when I was taking you out to the aisle to go back to the backstage or the medical room, he is a guy was on the aisle and kept, that was amazing fight. This amazing. So he told me in this conversation I had with him on YouTube, he became a fan of you too. Talking about the card, one, of course, after your last boxing match in 2014, you come to BKFC or bare knuckle fights. You do also the BKB. You fight versus Charles Bennett after Luis Palomino, and now it's coming this third fight with James Lilly. To also is popular there in England. Yeah, he's from Wales. He's a fighter from Wales. He's a good boxer. The card is very interesting because Conor Tierney, obviously James Lilly, and you are stars in England. I've been talking with people. Everybody's waiting for CU3 in that card. How do you feel to Mike Perry and Michael Page? They are leading the card, and it's not a championship. It's just an event.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I think they summed it up perfectly. I actually watched it on the BKFC app the other day, and Michael Venom Page said, "Look, this is the fight that nobody thought they wanted to see." Do you know what I mean? It's true. Like it just blew up, and everyone was like, "Wow, this is an incredible fight." You know, I didn't know I'd watch it, but I want to watch it now. So I don't mind being co-main event to that. That's a great fight. It's great matchmaking, KFC. Yeah, man. You know, as a fighter and as a fan, I'd like to see that fight. So, yeah, I can't grumble. I'm happy to be on that show.
Yeah, so no, the card, and for everyone who's watching this episode, talking here with Tyler Goodjohn, Tornado View, you have different options. One is download the application. The app is the BKTV, and it costs you some money. You can spend that money, or you can save more money and get flight tickets and go to London, stay close to the Wembley Arena, go to the event. It's going to be amazing. On the card is, of course, Michael Venom Page versus Mike Perry. Conor Tierney versus Joe Hitman Elmore. Is Paige Van Sant versus Charissa Sigala. Mike Tyrrell versus Sam Shoemaker, who also was in the same card on the same night versus Luis Palomino fight. You remember? Yeah. Sam Shoemaker is a good pictures there between you, me, and him. and it was an amazing fight too, is also Jake Boswick. Brutal Boswick is also other British talent who is fighting versus Chris Fishgold. And of course, Tyler Goodjohn versus James Lilly. The card is intense. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter what the main event is, what the co-main event, what the other co-main event is. That whole card is stacked. You know, you don't often get a card that is that good throughout. You know, you get like the last 2 fights that are good, but that whole card is stacked, man. And I'm not just saying it because, you know, I sell tickets for my fights and that, but this show's gonna blow up, man. Like when BKFC come to England, and you know, just the way that the Americans put more into production, it's more an event. It's just exciting, man. Like they just do it far back home in the UK. To be brutally honest, I honestly think people are gonna leave that show like, wow, that was a really really good show.
Yeah, and also the British, they are very supportive of their own fighters. I'm really watching right now here. I have the UFC London. This right now live. Who is fighting now? It's Jones versus Klein. And every time it's a British fighter come out, the arena is crazy. They are in the H02 arena. But yeah, no, the British audience is amazing. So, talking about the arenas, you've been in that arena. What is your expectation that night on the event? How do you feel the people is going to react at this event? Of course, family, friends, ourselves, myself, I get my flight tickets, people. So I will be there if somebody want. I don't know what I'm doing. If I'm just walking around to the stadium, I will go by myself. But I know Tyler's going to be busy there. Maybe I go and find Chappie. And,
oh, Chappie. Bar,
but and I send greetings to Chappie too. She's an amazing person too. Chappie family is her son, brother, nephew is making the music, for you.
So her sister, sister Tegan Kate, she's very very good, man. She's she's been doing her thing for a while now. And I'm releasing singles and everything else, and she's made me a track to walk out to. She's gonna perform it on the night. Very talented family. Very very talented family.
Yeah. Well, yes. Anything do you want to add, my brother? So to this episode, because also I was asking you because of course you or the production of Pulp overpassed 1 million viewers. The documentary won as the best sport documentary in England and the Lobby Awards. The bare knuckle fighter Unbroken is the first documentary about your life during the journey to be the champion of the BKB. At the end of the day, you are the champion. And BKB, just you retired, but you still holding that belt in home, yeah?
I people aren't going to like it much, but I feel like I'm the face of bare knuckle in England. Look, you look at the fights I had. I only had 3 fights in England, and I won fight of the night, won all 3 fights, fight of the night every fight. All 3 fights went viral, had millions of views on YouTube and Facebook and all that kind of stuff. I just, and like I say, people aren't going to perhaps want to hear it, but I blew this shit up in England, so I'm very excited to go back and put on another massive performance and just basically stamp my place as the bare knuckle man in the UK. When you think of bare knuckle, you think of Tyler Goodjohn, El Tornado. That's what I want, and I'm going to put in a really good performance, man. I'm training my ass off.
No, yeah, and people, if they are following you this journey, to my question was, is coming the second part of the bare knuckle documentary, second part?
I hope so. So Vice TV, like anyone who knows Vice, they're massive. We had both me and Chappie met up with them. We started filming with them before I come out to Miami. But the trouble was, we made it out here so quickly. I literally booked my flight on the Wednesday night and flew on the Thursday. It was like, right, I'm going to train now. So it was all very quick, visas and all that kind of stuff. So Vice couldn't come out, but they want to follow me when I get back. I think they're just quite interested in my life in general, you know, my life outside of fighting, you know, because it's interesting. Like, it's just not a normal life, you know, like even down to Chappie, you know, following girlfriends of bare knuckle about. It's just not a normal life being with a bare knuckle fighter. It's very, you know, it has to be very routine. It has to be this, it has to be that. You know, we're athletes, we're sportsmen, but we are still bare knuckle fighters. We're a little bit mad as well. So, yeah, I think they're sort of like quite interested in just following us about, really. So, yeah, I'm really hoping that they continue that when I get back, and I'm sure they will.
And I have the question of the million. I know the question of the million. I think it's the question of the heart, because I know your relation with Mick, your trainer, is very, 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 very hard, very strong relation with Mick. Is going to be here, on the fight that night. Are you inviting him to come over in your corner? I know Eric Castaños and Luis Palomino, they are your team now, and as respect, of course, they are your corner. But Mick is going to be there that night.
Yeah, Mick will be there that night. I'll try and get him into my changing room, just so I want him to meet everyone. He's I actually had a FaceTime phone call with him when I was at Young Tigers. So he spoke to Tigre, spoke to Palomino, and they were very welcoming and nice. And yeah, it'd just be nice to meet everyone in person. Obviously, that's if I can do that. But on the night, I'll have Tigre, I'll have Palomino, and I want to have my trainer from back home, Steve, who again, he's another person that I've known since I was like 10 years old. He's been, you know, he's been there very much alongside Mick and stuff like that. So he's going to be there as well. And like I say, it's just going to be a bit of a celebration of just being back in England, you know, seeing everyone, because when it was just us out there, it was me, you, and Cade in Yuli's change room. Yeah, the change room. There was literally just us, wasn't it? So it's going to be nice.
Unforgettable that night, honestly. Is sometimes people don't imagine what happened behind the stage, yeah? And people think the athletes, they arrive and they are ready to fight, or whatever we watch on TV, like the UFC, they have the big production. Those backstage or the locker rooms, they are the mats and they're training. Honestly, people, we was in a kind of the size of a bathroom. One thing where only 2 people can fit, and people was coming in and out. And the commissioners was there when I was putting your hand wraps, was Uli Diaz, was other people crossing. So the part for me that night as learning, because I've been in this sport too, and it's like, okay, Tyler need to be concentrated, but here's too much happening that night. Also, the event was delayed 2 hours, so I forget that part, because we was focusing you, but the fight was I think like at 2 in the morning.
Yeah, it was like a hurricane or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a tornado.
It was an amazing night. It was an amazing story.
It's amazing, yeah.
And to be honest, again, I've told this to everyone. Like, for someone, like, we literally done a podcast 2-3 weeks before the fight, and then I just reached out to you like 2 weeks before and was like, "Do you mind coming and doing my corner?" And you just bent over backwards, flew over, stayed the whole week with me, and afterwards. I couldn't have been any happier going into that fight. You know, the circumstances were obviously against us and everything else, but honestly, I couldn't have been any happier going in that fight. I was like mentally, I was very happy. Yeah, it was just a great story. You know, it was like great for humanity. There was a Mexican, an Englishman, an American, and a Dominican. We were just rolling around for 5 days, a makeshift team, but it worked. It worked.
Yeah, just the only thing I owe you, my brother, is the pizza. We run out of pizza that night. We don't have pizza, so we need to after this fight versus James Lilly. I need to get ready the pizzas for you, Luis, and Eric, and for myself too. I will be hungry, so I promise get ready the pizza for that night.
Well, Palomino took me out to a place called Carzola's about a week and a half ago, and I had to watch him eat a massive, large pizza while I drank a bottle of water. So I'm very much in for that pizza after my fight.
That sounds more than good, my brother. So BKFC 27 in London, August 20th. The main card is Michael Venom Page versus Mike Perry. And also is Connor Tierney versus Joe Elmore, Mike Terrill versus Shea Schumacher, Paige Van Sankia and Charissa Sigala, and Tyler Goodjohn, El Tornado, right here, and versus James Lilly. My brother, I don't have the right words to wish you the best. You're one amazing athlete. You're one amazing talent. You're one amazing friend. You're an amazing role model. And I believe the things happen for some reason. Everything in life is accommodating. And we've been having conversations before, and we know the opportunity is coming. And thanks to Luis Palomino, Eric Castaños, and your new management to I want to you please send a message to your management to give a shout out to your promotion.
So obviously, you know, I got handed this great opportunity by Florida Yachts International, cigarette racing team, Top Gun Yachts, Luis Palomino. You know, we're under ETW management. They're just, you know, they've just given me this massive opportunity, something that I'm calling for all my life. Like, if you'd asked me as a young country boy from the city of Ely at the age of 10 when I started boxing, you're going to end up in Miami, I would have called you a lot. You know what I mean? So I suppose I've exceeded my expectations a little bit, perhaps, but that's through hard work and determination, nothing else, because, you know, I was handed no privilege in any of my career. You know, I lost my first 6 amateur fights. I've been handed no privilege. Like, I've been in hard fight after hard fight. I've been in, you know, I've been down the bottom. I've been back up the top. But yeah, I've just worked my socks off, and that is why I'm here. And to be honest with you, you know, I want to be inspiration to kids growing up. And like I say, if you're not handed that privilege of having, you know, all the money or the best trainers, the best gyms and everything else, just know that you work your socks off. You will get there one day. Just keep the positivity there, and you will get there. And like I say, I'm proof of the pudding. You know what I mean? It's hard work all the way. It's only hard work has got me here.
No, exactly, and you are that. No, you prove it because you've been in those situations like in Abu Dhabi and after Dominican Republic with all the COVID situation, etc., etc. You closed 2 times your business, so you taste all the different waters. Yeah, you taste the good waters, the bad waters, and now you have this management, you have this opportunity, and we believe that's your night. That is gonna be a night to people never. It's not gonna be easy to forget. It's gonna be amazing.
It's gonna be one for the ages. I think this one, they're gonna be looking back on this show as, oh, that when BKFC had their first show in England, very much like they did UFC, you know, like the early days. It'll be like that. We'll look back and be like, oh, do you remember that Mike Perry versus MVP, Tyler Goodjohn versus James Lilly, Connor Tierney versus Joe, stacked show. Yeah, this is the blow-up point for me. You know, I think after this show, I think BKFC are going to dominate over in England.
Yeah, no. Well, I will see you there. I will be walking around like a spirit.
To be there a few days before, like the press conference.
But yeah, so I'm planning to arrive days before, because I was expecting to see if I can be helpful, and just bringing the Cuban coffee.
Yeah, well before like press conference, the weigh-in and that, we can hang out, and that'll be fun, man. I'm looking forward to catching up again.
I can bring the Cuban coffee.
100. Well, it depends on my. After I make weight, Cuban coffee.
That's good. That's good. That's good. And of course, I want to also thanks the people here in Geneva, Switzerland, is supporting me, or the people to Switzerland, who is teaching me speaking French right now. So if you travel to Geneva, Switzerland for work, for any studies, and you need to work your French language, go to Switzerland. Also, go to Keops Burgers. Keops Burgers is the best cheeseburgers here in Geneva. Go, 100% meat, 100% really good, and good people. So, ladies and gentlemen, I really appreciate it. This is an honor. This is a very, very special moment to have a friend, an athlete, and a person I call my brother of blood, because that night he put blood on my face, and we signed a family forever. Tyler Goodjohn El Tornado is here. I'm bringing 20 of those posters. I want to give to you. You sign them, and you give to people. If some people who is watching this YouTube, and you say something, and you go there, just send me a text, and we can hand in a poster signed direct by Tyler Goodjohn El Tornado. My brother, wishing you the best. Just, I don't know. So I know it's going to be a special night, special moment for you, for Luis, for Eric Castaños, for your team, for everyone, and of course, for the fans. For the fans, I think they're going to have one exclusive night. Ladies and gentlemen, get your tickets. BKFC 27 in London. Tyler Goodjohn El Tornado, my brother, thank you so much. Have a fantastic time, and see you in London.
Thank you very much, brother. Catch up with you soon.
See you later.